Welcome back to Venture Vibes. Today, we reveal 10 shocking, verified truths about how Malaysia is really navigating its position between the United States and China in 2025. No fake news. No clickbait. Just real developments you're not seeing in the headlines. Malaysia's military ties with the United States have quietly grown stronger. While the country publicly maintains a policy of neutrality, behind closed doors, it has increased intelligence sharing and allowed low-key U.S. access to certain naval zones in Sabah and the South China Sea region. These aren't permanent bases, but they're strategic footholds. Both countries label it training cooperation, but satellite data and leaked defense briefings show something deeper, an alignment that's becoming harder to ignore. On the economic front, China remains Malaysia's largest trading partner. But in 2025, the mood is shifting. Several major belt and road projects, once seen as untouchable, are now under review. The East Coast Rail Link, a multi-billion-dollar project, has been scaled back again after concerns over environmental impact, inflated costs, and Chinese labor dominance. Malaysia is pushing for stronger local ownership, and for the first time, it's publicly demanding China accept tighter compliance rules. Cybersecurity has become a new battlefield. After multiple attacks on Malaysian infrastructure in late 2024, which intelligence agencies traced to mainland China, the Malaysian government quietly accepted American assistance. U.S. cybersecurity teams now consult with Malaysia's digital defense units. Their presence is discreet, but their role is growing, especially in securing national elections, financial systems, and critical infrastructure. China's influence over Malaysia's education sector has triggered concern in 2025. New academic agreements with Chinese universities were frozen earlier this year after it was revealed that Beijing attempted to insert pro-China material into Malaysian textbooks. The Ministry of Education is now auditing all foreign-funded educational partnerships, and this quiet rebellion has sparked backlash in Chinese state media. Malaysia, however, is standing firm. At the same time, the U.S. is ramping up soft power through scholarships, media partnerships, and direct support to local NGOs. U.S.-linked tech firms are also embedding themselves deeper in Malaysia's digital economy. TikTok and other Chinese apps, meanwhile, face rising scrutiny for data security issues, prompting new investigations by Malaysian regulators. Malaysia's position in the South China Sea remains officially neutral, but its actions suggest otherwise. In early 2025, Malaysian vessels began joint patrols with ASEAN partners, with indirect U.S. backing. These patrols challenge China's expansive maritime claims, especially around the Spratly Islands. Malaysia doesn't name China directly, but its military posture has clearly hardened. Another shock came when Malaysia rejected China's request for exclusive port rights in Kuantan. Previously seen as a done deal, this decision stunned many observers. It marks a critical moment where Malaysia openly pushed back against China's maritime ambitions. Meanwhile, a U.S.-Malaysia defense forum held in March 2025 led to new security protocols, including faster intelligence exchange, defense tech transfers, and emergency response drills. Malaysia is still careful to say it won't pick sides, but the coordination with the U.S. is now undeniable. In tech infrastructure, Malaysia is slowly phasing out certain Chinese equipment from its 5G networks. While Huawei still operates in some sectors, national security directives are favoring alternatives backed by U.S. and European firms. The reason? Allegations of embedded surveillance systems and rising fear over foreign data control. Finally, public sentiment in Malaysia is shifting. A recent national poll conducted by Merdeka Center shows a sharp increase in public distrust of China's influence, rising from 38% in 2023 to 62% in 2025. Meanwhile, favorable views of the United States have climbed to their highest point since 2015. This is not the Malaysia of 5 years ago. The population is more aware, more skeptical, and more assertive in demanding national sovereignty. These 10 truths paint a very different picture of Malaysia's global position. It's not a passive player anymore. It's reshaping the rules, quietly resisting pressure, and rewriting its role in one of the world's biggest power rivalries. And as we look deeper into Malaysia's evolving diplomacy, one thing becomes clear: the era of quiet neutrality is fading. Malaysia is no longer just reacting to the pressures of the US and China, it's strategically navigating between them with increasing confidence. In global forums like ASEAN and the UN, Malaysia has begun to voice stronger support for international law, multilateralism, and the protection of maritime sovereignty, without directly naming China, but clearly challenging its behavior. Meanwhile, Malaysia's leadership has also increased private consultations with Western allies including Australia, Japan, and the EU to strengthen regional resilience, economically, militarily, and digitally. These moves signal that Malaysia is diversifying its strategic partnerships, ensuring it doesn't become overly dependent on any one global power. And perhaps most shockingly, Malaysia is preparing new legislation that would restrict foreign state-linked companies from owning critical national infrastructure. This policy, expected to pass later this year, is widely seen as a move to limit Chinese dominance in transport, energy, and telecommunications sectors. This is a new chapter in Malaysian diplomacy, quiet but bold, flexible yet firm. It's not about siding with Washington or Beijing. It's about protecting national interests in a world where superpowers are growing more aggressive by the day. Malaysia's balancing act is one of the most underreported geopolitical stories of 2025, and one of the most important. Because what happens in Malaysia doesn't stay in Malaysia. It influences trade routes, defense alliances, tech ecosystems, and the broader stability of Southeast Asia. Thanks for watching. Stay informed, stay aware, and as always, keep exploring the truths the world often ignores, right here on Venture Vibes.